Hey, what's up, y'all? Let's have a quick conversation about emotion and how some of us can weaponize terms like, oh, he's being emotional, she's being emotional, and just terms like that. In my opinion, and it's a very strong opinion, is that a lot of us weaponize the word and we misuse the terms he's being emotional or she's being emotional. And let me break it down like this. Let me give an example. Let's just say you in a discussion with your young lady and y'all disagreeing, and say if she's getting the best of you in the argument or the little debate or whatever, and you resort to, shaming or terms like, you know, whatever, man, or you don't know what you're talking about, or calling people stupid, then you've been hijacked. You are showing too much emotion. Let's say more so feminine emotion. Do men have moments where they have, breakdowns and they get frustrated and resort to shaming? Yeah, they do. It happens to the best of us. But as a man, you have to overcome that. You just do. Because you can't function being too emotional. And what I mean by that, we're emotional beings. We're human. We're gonna be emotional. But it's levels to it, man. It's just levels to it. So in the same, example of the argument or debate with the young lady, if you resort to shaming this, that, and the other, you got hijacked. You got hijacked emotionally. Now, when she weaponizes the word or the term emotion and call you emotional, it's the reason why men get triggered because they know they're at a place in their emotion that they shouldn't be in. And it takes some work. It takes some work. It happens to the best of us when it's something you got to work on. I'm gonna make another point too, where a lot of people confuse emotion. Now, there's a such thing as being passionate, you know, which is another form of emotion. It can be positive and it can lead to negative. And I'm gonna give you an example of that. Let's just say when we go to church, right, and we hear a preacher, he just really get into his word. He just really get into his word. His voice gets louder, he gets a little more aggressive, but he's really driving the message and the point home. He's passionate within his emotion, which could be a positive to you, which is, what it ignites him because he's just feeling it. It's just it's just pumping in his veins to where he just want to he just want to get that out. He just felt something on his heart that he really want to talk about. And this ain't really about preachers. I just use that for an example. So let's give you another example. Let's just say an athlete, and you just made the game winning shot, and you jumping up and down, you cheering, you dapping your boys up. You know what I mean? You showing emotion. You like, yeah, motherfucker, yeah, I did that shit. Yeah, I did that shit. And if a person want to weaponize that, they can say, well, this dude, why y'all emotional? Like he just won the championship. He just hit the game-winning shot. In that other person's mind, he's weaponizing the term calling you emotional, like, oh, he doing too much. But your teammates, they look at it like, oh, that's my dog. He just passionate. So we just got to get a better understanding of certain types of emotion and be slow to judge who's being emotional and who's not being emotional. Like if you know that person's character, and then you know if it's a feminine emotion or it's just genuine passion for whatever the situation may be. Like I said, I gave you the preacher example, I gave you the athletes example, and I think I gave you an example of a spirited debate amongst a couple, a male and female. A lot of women like to weaponize the term. When they get pissed off at you and they want to break you down, they'll call you emotional. And a lot of times, they'll be wrong. At the same time, it's like, as a man, you're supposed to have a calm, but you only can take for so much. It depends on the situation. if you flex and get frustrated, men, stop allowing other men or other women convince you that you're being too emotional when you probably only just exuding passion. You know, and it goes back to my examples, like I said. Do we tell preachers to take it down a notch, man? You too emotional. Do we tell athletes to take it down a notch? You being too emotional. And then with a couple that's, let's say having a spirited debate, if a man raises his voice a little bit and not shaming the girl, not shaming the woman, just saying, listen here, young lady, listen here, to whoever his wife's name is. This is what we're going to do. This is how this is going to play out. I did my research on this, so I know this is going to work, this, that, and the other. And if you get a little excited, you might talk with your hands, your voice might raise, but you're really showing passion and not being emotional in a negative sense. That's just my opinion, and that's my strong opinion. I'm going to stand on that. All right, I'm going to give you another example. Let's just say, as a father, you're disciplining your son, okay? Not necessarily just disciplining them, just chit-chatting with them, giving them some game, just telling them some do's and don'ts. And you get in his chest like, listen here, man. You can't be doing that. You can't be out in these streets doing this. You can't be out here doing that. You know what I'm saying? If you live under my roof, you're going to work. You're going to take care of your business. You're going to do your chores. And say if you pounding your fist and, you just driving your points home. To the wrong person, they might look at you like you're being emotional. That's how they weaponize a term. And I don't like that. When all in all, you're just passionate about what you're saying. You want your son to be like you. You want your son to be an upstanding gentleman. So you talk with your hands. You get a little aggressive. You raise your voice. But we have to stop allowing people, women, suck-ass dudes, older folks, just some folks in our family, weaponize certain terms and call us emotional. I've been called emotional a couple times. Not on a consistent basis to where it's like, oh, this dude always, this, that, and the other. There's a difference between whining, crying, bitching, moaning, a feminine emotion, genuine emotion. Let's just say you attending a funeral and you just get it a little bit, like, damn, I just lost somebody I love. That's okay. That's okay. But there's always going to be somebody on the other end that's going to try to weaponize it and use that against you, try to shame you for showing a natural human reaction. So, long story short, let's get better at discerning true passion, a feminine emotion, just natural emotion, because we all have it. You got to find that balance. But my whole point in this video is just be careful who you call emotional and what the situation is. Please be smarter at discerning and evaluating what's really going on.